Alright, we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling. We talk about all the action inside and outside of the ring, backstage curtain calls, rumors, dramas, and updates. We talk about, inactive statuses, injury updates as well. We talk about wrestling, contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings from promotions like WWE, from promotions like Ring of Honor, TNA, Stardom, New Japan Professional Wrestling, GCW, the NWA. If it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show, 1010%. All right, to kind of reflect on what we talked about right quick, we had our WWE Monday Night Raw review, and now we're going to get into some WWE NXT. But before we get into that, I just want to remind you guys to go ahead and hit up that super chat right there, whether if you got a burning question or a hot take in terms of the world of professional wrestling. Here at the GSMC Sports Network, we want you guys to feel absolutely open, 1010%. If something you've been dying to share, something you've been dying to get off your chest, here at the GSMC Sports Network, we are all ears, 1010%. So make sure you guys, don't be shy to drop your thoughts inside that chat. And if you really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets noticed on air, go ahead and type whatever you guys have to feel inside that box. Smash that money sign right there. Whatever you guys put inside that box is going to be guaranteed to be featured on the show, talked about, maybe even debated about. If it's something that juicy, obviously. Just kidding. No, but if it's just something really cool, we could talk about it. Any terms of professional wrestling, it's all gravy. It's all water under the bridge. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So do not be self-conscious. Do not be shy. Anything you guys put inside there is going to be the smartest freaking thing in the world, so don't worry about it. Obviously, these super chats helps us, keep the lights on these amazing podcasts, of these amazing podcasters who have one goal in mind: to make sure that you guys are fully satisfied, to make sure that you guys are consuming all the content that you guys love so damn much, from football, baseball, hockey, basketball, to the to professional wrestling. We talk about it here, to soccer. It doesn't really matter. We are passionate about sports. That's something we all have in common, 1010%. So we are a family. We are a sports family. The moment you meet a sports fan, you absolutely start vibing. And why not vibe together? Why not send some love to the GSMC Sports Network? Like and subscribe to that show so you guys could also, you guys can get some notifications whenever we all go live. We are super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily on the GSMC Sports Network. So, make sure you guys, keep that support coming. So let's keep the conversation going. Let's keep this party, let's keep this party rolling, and send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome. And together we will make sure this podcast is, bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Once again, it's super chat, not your thing. It's all good in the neighborhood. It's all gravy, baby. Don't even worry about it. Hit up that tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Just remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show, follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity. But of course, in terms of talking sports, it's inevitable. There's going to be some criticisms. There's going to be some disagreements, and it's all good. Don't even worry about it. It's all gravy. Don't even worry about it. Do not be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat. We just want to make sure you guys feel absolutely open to tell us what you guys have to feel. There are no wrong answers. Give me your shout out of where you're listening from. Give me your top 5 favorite wrestlers. Basically, just let's have a good time. All right, without further ado, let's jump on into some WWE NXT. First and foremost, we're going to start off with our women's last chance fatal 4-way match. We have Jada Parker, Wren Sinclair of the No Quarter Catch Crew, Kaylani Jordan, and Cora Jade. Something about this match that I, kind of want to highlight, and it's kind of silly. Every participant in that match kind of solidified their character. You kind of had Jada Parker. Jada Parker is like, this unpredictable, powerhouse badass, and she showed it tonight. You had, Kaylani Jordan as of this upbeat, a girl you want to take home to your grandmother to show off because she's so damn nice, but yet so charismatic. She showed that tonight. You also had Cora Jade, who came out, she comes out in these in this dark, in this heavy metal music kind of thing. She comes in looking to be like ruthless, but then again, sometimes it feels like, she can kind of sell herself short. And she came out just like that. And Wren Sinclair, I gotta be honest, she's so sweet. she's so sweet, and like whenever she comes out, whenever she has her promo backstage, you can't help but to root for her. You're kind of like, oh, it's Wren Sinclair, like, you know what I mean? And she showed that because a lot of fans were kind of getting behind her, and that's something that WWE NXT, that's something you ultimately want. You have that dog inside the race now, inside that Iron Survivor match happening at Deadline this Saturday. And like I said, ultimately, it kind of did its job. At the end of the match, you saw Lola Vice come out. Of course, Jada Parker, she called out Lola Vice, and then Lola Vice, gave her like a bam, a back spinning fist that knocked her out. That Wren Sinclair, fell back. I guess you can say her winning the match. She kind of fell into it. But ultimately, she did win the match, which is good for Wren Sinclair. I feel like she's been on the NXT roster for quite some time, and she deserves at least a spot. She deserves at least to be kind of put inside this limelight that is trying to find out who's going to be the number one contender. Obviously, the moment Wren Sinclair comes into the match, she's going to be an absolute favorite. Then, of course, the spotlight was kind of stolen by Jada Parker calling out Lola Vice. Ava, the general manager of WWE NXT, comes out and, basically said, not tonight, not tonight. We're going to have an underground match happening at NXT Deadline between Lola Vice and Jada Parker. So we have something like that to look forward to, which should be pretty good. Should be pretty damn good. All right, next we had the Tag Team Battle Royal. We had teams like The Family. We have Luca Cristofino. We also had Stax Lorenzo. And then we had teams like, OTM. We had, Hank and Tank. We had, Briggs and Anamura. We had Tyson and Tyreek. We had Gallus. We had Heights, Tavion Heights, and, Myles Bourne, who ended up actually winning the match, which... I could kind of see why they did. I feel like right now you can have you have Fraser, you have Axiom. They seem at odds with each other, and this is like a storyline that's been literally like lingering ever since like Heat Wave, like ever since over the summer. Ever since over the summer, a lot of people thought, Fraser and Axiom were gonna drop the titles to other tag teams, and it never really happened. And then it got to the point where, they were kind of hinting at each other, kind of poking each other, poking the bear, so to speak, that they were going to break up. That never really happened, which ultimately brought them closer and, made them bigger, better, and stronger than ever. To defeat an amazing tag team like Zachary Wentz and Wes Lee, which I ultimately thought they were going to take over the tag team division on NXT, but that never really happened. So Nathan Fraser and Axiom right now, I really can't. I can't really put my finger on their tag team title run. I gotta be honest. But these two individuals, Nathan Fraser and Axiom, are absolutely amazing together. These guys, it's like watching poetry in motion. It's like watching a new, a reincarnation of the Hardy Boys. These guys are literally, they keep you on the edge of your seat. They're, whenever they win and they celebrate, they're amigos. They're great together. And I feel like this match heading toward NXT, Deadline, I really don't see why you put the belts on Tavion Heights and Myles Bourne. Of course, maybe to, eventually, kind of split up Axiom and Nathan Fraser. But as of right now, but the tag team division in NXT, I got to be honest, is kind of suffering. They are kind of suffering. Nathan Fraser could definitely compete for the NXT North American Championship. Axiom as well could be, fighting for a Speed Championship, or both of them could very much find themselves on WWE Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. But them together, oh my God, it's so great. It's like it's a very delicate situation that's being handled by WWE backstage, the creative. It's like, all right, we can have these guys split up. We can have these guys lose the tag team titles, and we can try to promote, we can promote Gallus, we can promote OTM, we can promote maybe a new tag team with, Sean Spears and Brooks Jensen, or Shanti the Adonis, or, or OTM, Tyreek, there's so many other tag teams in NXT that you could ultimately kind of promote. But will it still kind of have that flair? And thinking about it right now, the tag team division on NXT, although it is very cutthroat, although it is very competitive, I really don't see why you take the titles off of Axiom and Nathan Fraser at this point. I really don't. I feel like they represent the tag team division very, very well. Their matches, like I said, keep you on the edge of your seat. That's something you don't want to lose. Absolutely. Especially during this new, NXT coming to the CW. They've only been on the CW cable television for about a month and a half, 2 months. So it's still, very much fresh NXT. But I don't know. It's, like I said, I just hope it goes into a good direction, Not hitting on the no quarter catch or anything like that, but, I know it should be pretty cool. Eric Bischoff returns to professional wrestling to mediate a conversation between Trick Williams and Rich Holland. I got to be honest, when I saw Eric Bischoff being announced to come back to WWE, to come back to professional wrestling, I gotta be honest. The last example, the last sample size that I had of Eric Bischoff was kind of what he did with Hulk Hogan in TNA. And I don't blame Eric for what happened with WCW. The storylines grew a little stale. I'm not blaming Bischoff for the downfall of WCW, although. According to reports and according to a lot of documentaries stating that, Eric Bischoff not wanting and giving specific superstars their own creative direction, ultimately kind of caused the demise. And it kind of, it's kind of funny how, you kind of see Tony Khan kind of stuck in that same boat where you have the EVPs like Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, you have, Jack Perry, you have Kenny Omega, you have, Mercedes Moné, who has her own creative writer. You have stuff like that where you're kind of like, although you ultimately like to kind of bag on this guy, this, Tony Khan of AEW, maybe you're kind of hinting at reasons for, maybe hinting at ways that maybe you don't walk into that same buzzsaw that ultimately that Eric Bischoff did in terms of WCW. But, him coming back to WWE, it's cool and all, but then he comes out and then he reminisces about the old days, and that's fine. That's cool. I don't mind Eric Bischoff. I never did. When he came back to Monday Night Raw as a general manager, I was kind of like, because I was a fan of WCW. I was a fan of WCW before, the crap hit the fan. And when Eric Bischoff came to Monday Night Raw to become that general manager, I kind of thought it was kind of like a black mark on his career. And, not like, obviously you go out there at the end of the day, you're like, what, it's a freaking job. I need to go out there. I need to make money. And it's something that I love doing within the professional wrestling industry. So I get it. I level with you. But the way the way the whole thing, the Monday Night Wars happened, where he came out on a bike and he was talking crap to Vince McMahon, and where he was giving away WWF/WWE results on his show because it was pre-taped. And I don't know, it's a delicate situation, but ultimately, he was talking about revolutionizing the industry. I definitely did like that he gave NXT their flowers. I thought that was pretty badass. You saw Rich Holland and Trick Williams break into a fight. Rich Holland giving a DDT on top of the announce table, sending the NXT World Heavyweight Champion Trick Williams to the hospital. Nikita Lyons defeats Carmen Petrovic. Gigi Doling, in her return back to NXT, defeated Izzy Dame. X-Pac backstage says that he's a huge fan of Javon Evans and that he has a real shot. We have the men's last man standing. We had Eddie Thorpe win. At the end of the show, we had Roxanne Perez, the NXT Women's Champion, addressing her challengers, Sol Ruka, Stephanie Vaquer, Julia Zaria, and Wren Sinclair, obviously. And, just with all these amazing talents going at it, this definitely makes the NXT Women's World Championship more prestigious than ever. Eddie Thorpe is taken out backstage. You had, Lexis King back there, Cedric Alexander. You had basically everybody who competed in that match, Nathan Fraser. They were concerned. So who beat him up? My best bet is probably Oba Femi. He finds a way into this Iron Survivor match, but obviously, it's still up in the air. All right, guys, so we do not go anywhere. We're going to talk on some All Elite Wrestling Dynamite talk when we come back. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage. Join me here in about 12 seconds. So, hey, do not go anywhere.